Hi everyone, so I am back with another planner video. So this one is going to be on how I use two planners at once with very minimal overlap. In fact, I only have one thing that is in both of the planners. So I will get to that in a moment. But this is going to be more of like an explanation video rather than a walkthrough. I'm still kind of tweaking some things and changing some things in my planners at the moment. So I am not quite ready to do a flip through quite just yet since I'm still getting myself organized. But anyway, I just, think back when you first started paper planning and your filofaxing and how excited you were and you started gathering supplies and decorations like a psycho and, watching this video, watching that video, and, when your planners arrived, you were just like super excited and you just stuffed it full of everything, your dashboards and your dividers and the inserts and everything, and you were taking some ideas from people's blogs and YouTube videos and kind of putting everything into your own planner as yours. And then, you may have noticed after a couple of weeks, maybe a month, that it was just absolutely stuffed full. And at times, maybe you found yourself being overwhelmed. You weren't really using all of the sections that you had in there. Because that's kind of what, I may be alone in this, but that's kind of what happened to me. I remember years ago, I was super excited to get my first Filofax, and before it arrived, I had made all these dividers, and I punched holes in all these Disney cards, and Project Life cards, and quote cards, and I was just ready to go. And by the time it came, I stuffed everything in there. I stuck all these sticky notes on the dashboard, and my pockets were full of stuff. And then after a couple weeks, I'm like, this isn't really working for me. My planner will not close properly. It's way too stuffed full. It's way too fat. I finally got to the point where I had to start thinking of my planner as like, it's kind of like my home. I want to keep it, clutter free. I only wanted to have sections in there that I was going to use and that I was going to love. And so at that point, I decided that I was going to archive all of the old stuff, take out sections that really didn't need to be there, the ones that I really weren't using that much. And I kind of condensed everything. And then I also realized at that point, okay, I am one of those people. I do need a second planner, and this is what I'm going to do to kind of help set that off and help me decide like what stuff is going to go in which one and how I'm going to use it. So, your planner should be a happy place. It should be full of things that you love. And life is already so chaotic as it is. So let your planner be your peaceful, happy place. It's kind of how I like to feel about it. Declutter, make it work for you. And just because, you see all these different ideas, it's working for other people, it may not even work for you. We all have different lives and different schedules and different needs. And, for me, I always loved the personal size. It was large enough for me to write in, yet it was portable at the same time. And I recently just came to the conclusion, of why I wanted to use two and why I wanted to also incorporate an A5 into my life. And so in my personal, this is where, I keep my month on 2 pages, my week on 2 pages. I keep my reading list, a quote section, my 7-sentence diary where I can talk about that a little bit later. Basically, I just have my own handwritten template of 7 different things that I just, I write down every day. It's quick and easy, and it kind of helps me document the day. And then in the A5 over here, and I also did want to mention as well, I figured out that I really like, the dashboard to be pretty clean. I do have this card here, and this one underneath, a clear fly leaf here. But I like this part to be clean. When I first started, I did have it full of sticky notes and stuff, and I just realized it was causing too much bulk for me, too much clutter. The post-it notes were wrinkling up, and some of them were, getting bent, and, that was just driving me crazy. I also was never one to put a lot of stuff in the pockets, but I recently got these new sticky notes, and they really matched this planner, and I thought they looked cute, so I stuck them there. But normally I really don't have a lot of stuff in the pockets. If I'm gonna be on the go and I need to carry pens and, planner supplies, I'd rather just kind of, just stick everything like in a pouch and throw that in my bag as well, rather than have everything stuffed in the pockets and whatnot. But again, that's just me. Some people really do well having their sticky notes and everything on their dashboard. So now in my A5, which normally stays at home, of course I can take it with me if I'd like to, but I made my personal to where it is portable. It does have my to-dos, the things I need to do, my lists, my schedules, all of those things. Where my A5, I like to think of, my personal companions. So they kind of complement each other, they supplement one another, and this is how I found that my system has worked. So in my A5, I have a month on 2 pages, and that's just for a quick glance. I decorate my week on 2 pages here in the personal. I don't have week on 2 pages here. I did do some light decorating on that calendar, but it's only to have a month at a glance. I have my gratitude journal in there, as well as I'm also tracking my anxiety levels every day in there, so that also really helps me keep track of that. I also have a section called favorites, and every once in a while, if I'm feeling, artsy or whatever, I take my sticky notes and I write down all my current favorites, excuse me, and I stick, I use fun sticky notes and stick them on the page underneath that section. For instance, my favorite websites, my favorite food, my favorite song, my favorite Filofax supplies at the time, and I just put down all my favorites. I can also use that section as kind of like my Smashbook section, where, I can just washi tape something in there really quickly. And, so I have that there. I also have an inspiration section in the A5, and I can also use that as my art journal. So if I find, some magazine pictures or a brochure or something on the internet that I like, that, I draw inspiration from, whether it be something for writing or journaling or something for my house, it can go in that section. And then I also have a tab for projects, which would include, household projects, things that I want to get done around the outside of the house, inside. Also, that section is for travel, things like that. And the most important thing that I do keep in my A5 is my filing cabinet, my A to Z tabs. And that has really helped me clean out my personal, because in my personal I just had random stuff. Like I had made a list of all of my Disney Blu-rays and my Disney DVDs, so that I wasn't ordering, duplicates from the Disney Movie Club, stuff like that. I didn't need a whole section for that in my personal, so I can file that under D for Disney in my filing cabinet. So it was in a personal size, and so what, all I did literally was take it out, and I literally just washi taped the page into where it needed to be. Like for instance, here is D. Oh, and I also keep, random like Christmas lists, things of presents that I bought for people last year. I recorded in here, file it under C so that I know what I purchased last year. But, you know, you can tell, see, this page was in my personal. I just took it out, washi tape, stuck it in here. So I've got my list. So anything that was in my personal that does not require a full section can be filed into the filing cabinet. I know that other people have also called it a brain dump, where, you know, they write random notes and they just, you know, stick it under whatever appropriate letter. Don't think about it too much. I know that certain things can be filed under different letters, but whatever the first letter or the first topic that comes to mind for you, just stick it under there. You know, don't let yourself get so OCD about the filing cabinet, because it's information that you don't need to archive, that you do kind of want to have handy, but then you don't need the clutter as well. So that section has definitely helped me, because I'm like, okay, I don't need a whole section for birthdays and anniversaries and for addresses. I don't really have that many that I need to keep track of. So all of that can be put into, you know, my filing cabinet. There's also, you know, personal things. Sometimes I will write, you know, diary pages or thoughts and feelings, and, you know, I file that under, you know, different places. Matter of fact, I named that whole section after myself. It's for me, it's for my stuff, and that's just where I put that. But, you know, anyway, it's all about personal preference. And if you're feeling like one planner is not enough for you, then, you know what, go ahead and set up another one. Make your planners work for you. Like I said, they're your happy places, and, you know, your setup may not be, you know, the best setup for somebody else, and vice versa, but you'll find something that works. And like I said, I'm in the process of kind of redecorating and figuring out myself and taking things out, and you would be surprised at all of the stuff that, you know, you would take out that you find yourself not looking at like you thought you were going to. I mean, I had all these Disney cards, and I mean, yeah, it's all cute stuff, it's all great, but at the end of the day, I really wasn't looking at it. It really wasn't, you know, making me happy like I thought it was going to. It just made my planner bulky and way too cluttery. And I was just getting to the point where I was like, okay, I don't want to mess with my planner anymore. And I don't want to be like that, because my planners definitely help me so much. And so I wanted to finally come up with a way that I could, you know, streamline everything to where it worked for me. And this is what I've done. And like I said, the only thing that I do have overlapping is literally just the month, just so I can check and see at a glance what day it is, but everything else is different. I may also end up taking my reading list out of here and filing it in the filing cabinet as well. I mean, I don't know, but at least that possibility is there. So anyway, that's how I am currently using two planners at the same time, and I hope that helped you guys a little bit. Let me know how your planners changed from the time you first started until now. I mean, have you guys made any changes? Have you, you know, started over? I've known a few friends who kind of went through the same thing, and they got overwhelmed and they didn't like their planner, and they were like, oh my gosh, it's so full of junk and clutter, and they finally was like, okay, I have to start over, and they completely took everything out and redid their dividers and made everything to where, you know, it makes them feel like they're at peace with their planner again. And so that's my wish for all of you, because I know that, you know, we all have so much stuff during the day, and so we need to have our happy place. We need to have our place where we can, you know, dump out our brain at the end of the day. We have a place to write our thoughts and feelings. We have a place to check our schedule. We have a place to check and see what's going on with the rest of the family and not feel overwhelmed. So anyway, I hope I answered some of the questions that you guys had asked me on Facebook about using two. If you have any other questions, just please leave them in the comments, and I will try to respond as soon as I can. So as always, thank you for watching, and you guys have a good weekend. Bye.